뜨자마자 결정해도 아직 익숙치 않은 타협 시간을 도모 위에식 재료 썰듯 안 하면 하루는 순서가 뒤섞인 음식처럼 망가져 지쳐도 경계하네 공허와 허무 불안감 속에서 상기하네 15년 전 빈 털터리의 여유 억울하 해도 납득돼 35년간의 필름이 어쩌면 수치 맞은 삶 건축된 우리의 이름이 길르니 어두워지지 않게 서로를 비판하고 세상을 보는 시선 삐딱하게 얼굴에 피어난 주름은 당연해 마치 아파친 너 페이스 평가는 다 끝난 다음에 해긴 인생의 레이스 이 험한 현실에서 아직 붙잡아두고 싶은 꿈 높고 힘든 삶의 능선에서 때론 포기하고 싶은 꿈 너와 천천히 오래 싶어 until the end of time 지금 난 간절히 원해 한 조각의 peace of mind
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll watch the Miami Heat.
Blah, blah, blah.
On the road, looking for a win against an Eastern Conference rival, the Miami Heat are ready to get this thing started. Like to welcome you to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And with the road trip approaching, the Pacers will play the final game of their homestand. Well, it's been an improvement this year over last season. They made a lot of adjustments, and happy to see that they translate into some tangible results.
Yeah, and as far as the regular season goes, this is as good as it gets. This truly, to me, is the definition of a rivalry. I mean, a game between these two teams has always been special.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen a ton of great games between them in the past. It's hard not to get amped up when they face each other. I've been looking forward to this one for a while.
So the opening lineup for the Heat, LeBron James is out there with Mourning. Then it's Olajuwon. Then there's Hardaway. And it's Wade in at the 2 spot. The Pacers shooting their first foul shot of the night. And that one misses.
And there's Shaq with free throw.
Greg, after a run of 10 playoff trips in 11 years, the Miami Heat missing the postseason last year, they'd end up a game back of the 8th spot.
Yeah, and what's hard for the Heat, Kevin, is that they were in the playoff picture for most of the year. And as the season wore on, they slowly fell out of that top 8.
Here's Iverson. After Tim Hardaway's bucket, goes up off the pick. It's hauled in by Alonzo Mourning. James right side. And there's Dwayne Wade on the assist by James.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
Feeds it to O'Neal. And now just over a minute played here in the first.
I tell you, you gotta love his aggressiveness finishing inside like that.
Well, his leaping ability, Clark, gives him a great advantage.
And that's why they look to get him the ball around the rim. It's either a dunk or free throws every time.
Miller against Wade. He kicks to James. The 11-footer. It's blocked by Shaq. Carter left side. Iverson outside. Indiana moving it around.
No!
It's stolen by
jackass.
It's rebounded by Indiana. Their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
Was not even close. I mean, they had points coming from all over the place.
Yeah, they stayed true to the game plan offensively and never strayed at all. Impressive performance.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the...
Yeah, really left him no choice there, Greg. He had the foul and keep him from converting the easy bucket.
Miami shooting their first foul shots of the night here.
And team stats last season, 74% shooting, so some numbers that they can definitely improve upon.
And those aren't the kind of numbers they can afford to repeat throughout this season.
Hardaway hits them both. The Indiana Pacers had a solid season last year, given they were without their star for most of it. They played well at home.
Yeah, even without Paul George, they were in contention. How about 23 and 18 at home, which is really a solid mark when you consider they didn't have their two best players from a season ago.
Olajuwon with it, and it's Carter picking him up. James in the post. He's against Miller. Back to Olajuwon. 3 on the clock. Mourning gets the 14-footer to fall.
You know, for the Pacers and their 23 and 18 home record, that was better than several teams that made the playoffs in the East. They were very tough at home at the defensive end of the floor.
Miller against Wade. And it's Miller penetrating. Miller with another miss.
Wow.
Miami leading by 4.
And the Pacers were third in the league in field goal percentage against at home. Something about this crowd really drives the Pacers on the defensive end, even in a down year.
Now here's Kemp. Iverson dishes to O'Neal.
Set him up, Shaq.
Out to Miller. Beyond the arc. Miller with
Get
another
in
miss.
there.
Boy, he's got a nice looking stroke. That almost went in.
Yeah, and a lot of times he'll still knock those down no matter how good the D is.
Now here is Olajuwon. A 14-point game for him in the win against the Timberwolves in Minneapolis.
And 3 blocks on the game as well. I mean, he was going all out and making plays defensively.
Iverson against Hardaway.
Wow.
And there's Dwayne Wade on the assist from Hardaway. Wade's got his second bucket of the night. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for Miami.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers.
Pacers trail by 6. The drive by Iverson. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. Iverson's got his first points of the night.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time. Great anticipation and awareness to come up with the steal and trigger the fast break.
And now just a one-possession game thanks to that quick hitter. Outstanding play in the open court.
Well, you look back at the 2015 Heat, and the injuries are what probably brought that team down. We can go from Chris Bosh with the debilitating blood clot in his lung and on and on and on. The loss, of course, which is not an injury, of LeBron James. There are a lot of moving parts with that team.
And that's a great point, Kevin. If you take any star off a team, things are going to get difficult. It was impressive that the Heat still managed to stay competitive once Bosh went out.
Here's Wade after the made shot from Allen Iverson.
Double team.
Wade outside Hardaway. Just 5 to shoot, and a wide open look for James. Off target from 3-point range.
You know, Bosh was the big injury hit for the Heat, but they had a lot of other injuries as well. I mean, had to use 31 different starting lineups last season.
3-2 zone.
And 20 different players started at least one game.
Here's Mourning following the score by Vince Carter. Hardaway, no good.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Miller kicks to Shaq. The 3.
Oh.
Does not find the mark. He's made 2 and missed 1 now.
Got to do it. Got to do it.
Wade passes to Hardaway. He dishes it to Olajuwon, and stolen by Iverson. Here's Carter. He feeds it to Kemp, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. That's on LeBron James.
And injuries are something that you can't plan for, but you can prepare for them. And hopefully the Heat can avoid injury woes this season. If they can, they at least have players who have been through that struggle last year.
So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. Everyone knows about the Paul George injury from last year and how it affected the Pacers. He said almost the entire season, and there was no doubt they missed it.
Yeah, and when George came back, Kevin, the Pacers got hot, but they had to put him on a minutes limit. And it wasn't just George, though. The team as a whole had a lot of injuries during the course of the season.
And the second free throw, good. 27 seconds left here in the first quarter. Iverson dishes to Miller. It's stolen by Wade.
Really?
And here we go. LeBron heading to the hoop.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the
my
importance
God.
of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Here's Hardaway. Good work defensively by Carter. He gets it up. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter.
A good quarter.
And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Heat?
Really active hands early on here as they're able to acquire several steals.
2-3 zone.
Well, they've really been aggressive guys on defense, and it's paid off, so why stop? Keep it up.
In a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court for Indiana, Shawn Kemp is out there with Carter. Then there's Allen Iverson. Then there's Shaquille O'Neal. And it's Miller in at the 2.
Well, I think it's been said about 1,000 times now how Coach Spoelstra started as a video coordinator with the Heat. But he's been with the organization for so long, they are starting to become synonymous.
Wade kicks to LeBron. Picked by Olajuwon.
Oh, there's a foul.
James against Iverson. O'Neal a screen on Iverson. Hardaway, that's a 2-pointer. Great D that time from Kemp. As you said, Spoelstra has been with the Heat for so long now in his 8th season. He was handpicked by Pat Riley to lead the team, and Riley Clark kind of molded him in his image.
And it was clear that Pat Riley believes in him and continues to believe in him. Coach Spoelstra has had very high expectations on his shoulders ever since taking over the team, and he's actually lived up to them.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
And he gets the bucket.
The defender a little hesitant to offer resistance as he bursts to the hoop.
Pacers trail by 3. Iverson kicks to Miller.
Give me a
Stolen
break.
by Wade. Poke loose.
Yeah,
It's going to be out
come
of
on
bounds.
now.
The Pacers will take it.
How about a look at the Pacers and where they ranked in the NBA last season? 3rd in opponent field goal percentage, 4th in opponent points per game, and they also showed up in the top 5 in team rebounds. That means everybody's doing their job on the boards. This is a very strong rebounding team.
And you mentioned their ranking
Quick ISO.
in terms of opponent field goal percentage. Such an important stat. They did not give up the easy looks. You really had to work for whatever you got.
Now here's Kemp. His last outing, he had 8 points. 2 on the clock. Tries from 16. That's good, and the Heat lead is cut to just 1 on the basket from Iverson. 2 minutes now played in the second quarter. The Heat have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. It's tipped. Miller outside. Lets it go with a 3. That's good. Great play set up by Iverson. Miller's got 5 now. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for Indiana.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard.
Can't do that.
Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steal.
Yeah, and one thing, Clark, I've noticed is how quick their hands have been tonight. Thanks to that, they've gotten a lot of points off of turnover.
Carter, the pass to Kemp. Goes back up and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. With a break in the action, we go to the 2K leaderboard. See the teams that excelled at slowing the pace down a campaign ago. The Pacers fourth.
Boy, it was a long year, and you were reminded of it every time you played this team. I mean, they never gave up a lot of points. They made you work for everything. And the points you did get... against them were really hard-earned.
Chris Bosh is checked in for Elijah Watt. And so Kemp nails both of them.
And the Miami Heat have finished in the top 2 spots or better in each of the years the big three were in town. Last season that changed as they would end up 10th in that Eastern Conference.
Now here is Hardaway. He's coming off a 19-point game against the Timberwolves in Minneapolis. And another shot. And the layup is good. Hardaway has got it all tied up now for the Heat.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
And for the Heat, once the bullies of the Eastern Conference, they had a lot of trouble keeping up with other Eastern Conference teams.
Kevin, they finished 25-27 against the rest of the conference, played under 500 against the East at home, which really negated their chances for the playoffs. That was a smart pass by Wade that time.
For Indiana, they've gone 4 of 6 from the field here in the second. Paul George is checked in for Indiana. Payton comes in for Allen Iverson.
Paul George. Gary Payton.
It's Miller on the wing. Back to Carter. They set the pick. 6 to shoot. Here's Kemp. That one falls. His second basket of the game. He's now 2 for 3. 1:56 left now here in the second. And the Heat call time here. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
And even in hostile territory, as they were that day, they had no jitters at all. I mean, the confidence kept growing as the shots kept falling.
And they were falling big time. I mean, from the top to the bottom of that roster, everybody was locked, loaded, and spraying jumpers.
Hold on to it. Hold on to it.
1:53 left in the first half. And it's Thompson with the jam.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
Here is Kemp. The Heat getting the bucket. Now here's Payton.
Get in there.
With the rebound.
High-quality shot, just a little off there with the release.
And, Greg, that has him S-H-A-T,
Get out.
shaking his head. Tough miss that time.
Heat have gone 6 of 9 in the second quarter. Some good work from the field. To the wing on the left. Stolen by George. And, oh, here we go. Carter's got it in the fast break chance. And it's the Heat on the break. Here's Wade. It's rebounded by Indiana. And this is their first time matched up with this year's Heat team.
And they were able to take the season series in that matchup last year. But overall, two teams that were very similar in the standings.
Yeah, they were able to make the plays to come out on top, but it really could have gone either way. And you could say the same for tonight's game.
Now here is Hardaway. 8 points for him. Plenty of space.
Yeah,
Bounces
cool.
high off the rim and drops. Hardaway has got 10.
And boy, has he picked it up since the start of the second. His shots now starting to fall.
Outside, George.
Quick ISO.
We've got 13 seconds left in the first half of the game. 5 to shoot. Kemp a screen on Bosch. George dishes to Kemp.
No.
It's back.
Oh.
That's an unusual, surprising miss for him. Typically, he's good on those inside.
Terrible
And the first half
execution.
comes to a close.
Kevin, I'm here with Coach Eric's.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back, Ernie Johnson. It was a closely contested first quarter for Miami. At the end of the period, they held a 2-point lead. The second quarter was dead even in terms of their scoring output for both teams, and they still find themselves in a good position. And that'll do it for now as we send you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the second half.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. You look at Tim Hardaway. He's really been playing well.
That slasher mentality was on display in that first half. He got to the rim consistently.
Boy, I tell you what, he's got that great first step, and he must have had some quickness porridge or something because he looks a little faster today than normal.
Oh! And we're back.
Warning is out there with Olajuwon. Then there's Dwayne Wade. Then it's LeBron James. And it's Hardaway in at the 1 spot.
Pretty. Let's go.
Miami with the ball. They'll be playing host to Toronto for the next one. Mourning kicks to Wade. Wants to get it to Olajuwon and does.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
Payton drives in. Soft touch off the glass. Payton's got the game tied up here for the Pacers.
Great way to start the half. Easy layup against some soft D.
Kicks to Olajuwon. Here in this third quarter, just over a minute play.
Nothing you can do on that.
Just no chance for the smaller defender to block that shot.
He's really, really good at using his size to free himself up for those mid-range jumpers. A master.
A nice shot by George.
That makes 3 in a row to start the second half.
The Heat have gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. Everyone understands the importance of
No, you gonna bite on that?
That's why taking his offensive game to the next level would be so beneficial.
Yeah, he has all the physical tools, the instincts, and obviously he has made those strides. But if he wants to become a top 5 guy, he's still got a little bit of work to do in terms of his game.
I don't think so.
James,
I
the
don't
pass
think
to
so.
Hardaway. The feed now to Mourning. Good D by Miller.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take it back.
And that one's good. 8 points for Vince Carter.
And still perfect in the second half. 4 straight makes.
For my man PG, Paul George, so much focus has been on extending his range, but
Get
ever since he
that outta
started
here.
launching over 5 3-pointers a game, he shot under 43% from the field. Maybe time for him to balance out that shot selection.
Williams is checked in for Miami.
Nice hustle, PG.
LeBron with it. And it's Miller picking him up. Again, the miss by the Heat.
All right, here we go.
Hey guys,
Here we go.
talking about
In your
Paul
face,
George,
bitch.
the improvement of his ball handling is key to generating more offense. That was a weakness of his coming out of college. He's worked on it, but making it a strength the way LeBron has would go a long way toward getting him to that next level.
James dishes to Olajuwon, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And look here at the Heat, how they ranked in the NBA last season. 6th in opponent points per game, 11th in field goal percentage. And they were in the top half of the league in steals as well. Pretty impressive.
And back to their ranking in terms of opponents' points per game. Kind of an old school stat, but sometimes pace of play can factor in. But make no mistake, they made things difficult for their opponent.
When you're hot, you're hot. And that's certainly been the case for Mr. Moves. 12 points, and he's managed to get 4 of his points by way of the free throw line.
And Clark, that might not make the highlight reel, but those are important points nonetheless.
Oh! Look at that. VC. Timeout.
Guarded by Mourning.
Damn.
Timeout
No
call.
foul and all that, huh?
Yeah, saw some things that just weren't working for them and wants to make some adjustments.
Yeah, and no reason to wait around to do that, Greg. I mean, you might as well make those adjustments right away.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Eric Spoelstra was saying to his team. He made it clear their offense needed to run through Mr. Moves. Their offense is most effective, Coach said, when he is most involved. And they're looking for total involvement from him for the rest of this game. Those could prove to be crucial changes to their strategy with this game getting ready to enter the stretch drive, Kevin.
And as always, Doris, thank you. Pick by Olajuwon. Wade sets the pick for James. And it's Wade in the corner.
Oh, come on.
Space. Good, and the assist goes to James. 6 points for Dwayne
What's doing
Wade.
over there?
Guys, what a back-and-forth game this has been.
You know what? You're right. Neither side has been able to hang on to the lead for any kind of time at all.
Yeah, and that's already resulted in 7 lead changes.
And it's Miller in the corner, looking to get back on track here. Here's Kemp, and there's 2 points.
Yeah.
Working on the glass, paying off that time. Kemp's got 9.
You know, not only is the game neck and tight, but the rebounding battle is too. Extremely close on the board.
It's been brutal in terms of the physicality down low.
Now a timeout called by Miami.
And now, let's hear it for your Pace Mates. All right, fans, that was your Pace Mates. Let's let them know how great they were and make some noise.
Been a pretty good game, though. I don't know.
On defense, the Pacers. They lead by 1. Olajuwon against Kemp. Olajuwon kicks to Williams. In off the glass. Williams has got his first 2 points.
Well, they certainly didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into
White
the post
chocolate.
that time.
Yeah, and that's important because this game may ultimately come down to which team controls the paint in crunch time.
You guys want to move?
George against
Thank you.
Mourning. Miller outside. Sinks it.
Oh,
Range from
toilet
outside.
water.
Wow. Miller's got the lead up to 2 now for Indiana. The Heat have gotten 5 of 8 shots to fall for them in the third quarter. A nice 62% from the field.
You know, and Paul George played the first few years of his
Get
career
that out of
in the
here.
NBA with 24 on his back. And as you can see, he now goes with 13 after making the switch prior to last year.
Really?
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
LeBron passes to Olajuwon. To the middle. And it's sent back by George. The drive by Iverson. That bucket in no time at all.
Yep.
Now it's a 4-point Pacer lead. And with Paul George going with the number 13 now, as you can see, helps with his nickname, PG-13.
Yeah, that's a good nickname, a nice fit. Young Tracy, as he likes to go by on Twitter, he said himself that it was about embracing his stature and stardom in the league. Nice way to
Double
do it.
team.
Shot clock at 5. And count it. 2
Really?
with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Sit down.
How about battling through the impact there and then wheeling that basketball in?
Boy, it does your heart good to see that kind of determination in a player. Really excellent focus that time.
Catching up on the changes with Miami. Chris Bosh has checked in for Mourning. Thompson comes in for Dwayne Wade. Hardaway is subbed in for Jason Williams. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. George dishes to Iverson. Carter kicks to Miller. Lets it go from deep. Olajuwon grabs the miss.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
And there's Hardaway. That's good on the assist by James. LeBron's got 3 assists now in this one. Timeout called the Pacers.
Here we go, Pacers fans. Now coming onto the court are your Pacemates. All right, fans, that was your Pacemates. Let's let them know how great you are and make some noise.
Just 4 seconds left in the third. And here's Iverson outside. And no good trying to get that one. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one.
Spot for a timeout.
Again, as we get set for the fourth quarter, a terrific game so far. Indiana trailing here. Allen Iverson out there with Miller. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Sean Kemp. And it's Carter in at the 3 spot. So that's the group out there for Indiana. And slam dunk by Kemp.
Sit down, Hakeem.
Something special going on here tonight.
It certainly does have the feeling of a classic.
Down,
Greg. Let's
Hakeem.
see which team
What up? Thanks for
is
joining.
better equipped to handle the pressure.
Hardaway against Iverson. Throws it up high. And Thompson throws it down.
Noise.
Back and forth we go. That bucket gives us another lead change.
Too many of those to count. These teams have matched each other shot for shot, play for play. It has been impressive.
Miller, the pass to George. And a great assist by Miller as that one goes in. Miller's got assist number 5 here tonight. Fourth quarter of basketball. We're about a minute into it. The wide open look here for Bosh. It's rebounded by Indiana. Carter's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Out of bounds, Indiana takes possession. O'Neal's checked in for Paul George. And Miami also making a switch. O'Neal's checked in. Indiana leading. A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone right now. Olajuwon against O'Neal, and that one is stuck right through.
Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high, fantastic one-hand jam.
Nice way there, guys, to finish up that possession.
Shaq with the screen. Olajuwon with a screen on Miller.
Stick with him.
Thompson against Miller. Down to 5 on the shot clock.
Stick with him.
Releases. And again, it's
Good D, Reggie.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Checking out the game Allen Iverson is having. He's got 8 points, and he's added a steal to his stat line also.
You know what? The number is not huge, but he has been doing some valuable defensive work for them.
Check out them
A different
kicks
look
on
for
Iverson.
Miami. Mourning comes in for Olajuwon. And Dwayne Wade is subbed in for Thompson.
He did the important part at the line there, the heavy lifting, if you will. Made this a 2-possession game.
Mourning kicks to Wade. Here's O'Neal. That falls. Nice feed
Cool.
that
How'd that
time
mismatch
from
happen?
Dwayne Wade.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Yeah, but they better rally soon because they've given up 3 straight buckets in the paint.
There's a good screen. Kemp inside. Warning's there. Kemp with the bucket. Kemp's got the lead back up to 4 now for the Pacers.
3-2 zone. 3-2 zone.
Miller against Wade. Shaq is screen on Miller. Wade dishes to Hardaway.
No.
They get the rebound. And Shaq with the
Wow.
slam.
And he's just going all out to get the second chance points. Just a terrific finish.
There was no one that was going to prevent him
Quick
from
ISO.
converting that one.
Well, clearly this is the kind of game that could come down to 1 or 2 plays, and he wants to be the guy to make those plays.
The screen from Kemp. Iverson kicks to Miller. Second shot opportunity, and Kemp puts
Foul.
it in. Kemp's got the lead
Foul.
up to 4 now for the Pacers.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
You got to like what Shawn Kemp has done in this game.
He's been attacking the rim with reckless abandon. They're searching for answers. Some way they got to figure out how to contain him.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Eric Spoelstra address his team. He loved the work they were doing on the interior, saying, listen, they've got no answer for us inside, and we're not going to let them off the hook now. Keep pounding it down low.
Shaq is screen on Carter. Morning's shot is good.
You know, it's really going to be all about hard work from this point on. And they worked hard to create that high-quality shot right there.
No question. That's their goal down the stretch here. I think finding those close-range rhythm shots.
Count the bucket. And the Pacers lead by 4.
That's a huge basket. Just taking advantage of the size mismatch and able to drain that mid-range jump shot. Really good basketball.
Here's Carter. Miller, the pass to Kemp. That's good, and it's Miller with the assist. Miller's got 6 assists in the game. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Pacers.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. They've been an attack mode on the defensive end.
You know, adding on to that, you look at their block totals tonight, and you see how feisty they've been on the defensive end this game.
No question. He got on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
Great. Free throw is good, and that brings them within 5.
They're locked in from the charity stripe this half. Not a miss yet.
And trying to cut into this lead, they need every edge they can get.
Both free throws good from James.
In a crucial spot, he is always so solid at the line. He rarely wastes those opportunities.
To the inside. Here's Shaq. And it's good. O'Neal's got 6 points in the quarter.
And tired legs affect you at the defensive end first, and that's what we're seeing here.
You called it, Greg. As much offense as we saw early, and we're seeing even more of it here late.
Timeout called the Heat. They're losing by 6. 1:36 left in the 4th quarter.
Rat. Close it out.
Wade outside. LeBron outside. Hardaway, that's a 2-pointer.
No.
Miami no good on that time either.
I tell you what, folks. I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
Iverson with the ball. He's picked up by LeBron. Here's Kemp, and Morning sends it back.
No dice.
It's going to take something special for them to come back now.
Well, I would say something special and some luck as well, or good fortune, however you want to phrase it.
Wade.
No.
And again, it's the Heat missing. Shaq with some nice D.
Well, what appeared to be an easy 2
Go for
points
the dagger. Let's go for the
never
dagger.
materialized.
The screen from Kemp. Out to Miller. Trying
The
to
dagger.
break his gold streak.
Oh.
Shot, no good. And Miami the other way now. And it's Wade penetrating. Miller grabs the miss. 2 points here might be all the cushion they need.
You would think so. This game is
Oh,
theirs.
don't break that rim.
And foul call. Looks like they had a clear path to the basket. He'll be shooting 2 free throws. And they'll retain possession.
What a stellar outing in this one for Shaq. He's got 10 points, and he has been the definition of a thief with all those steals.
And Clark, defensively, he has played this game just so intelligently. I mean, he hasn't let them get away with any loose passes or sloppy ball handling.
The Heat making a switch here. Elijah Wan's checked in. Miller against Olajuwon. Wade brings the double team. It's deflected.
Why would you pass it to
and
him?
stolen by James. Takes the 13-footer. That's good from Wade on the assist by James.
Foul.
And so they choose to intentionally foul.
That's his first personal foul. At the line for your Pacers, Miller. Taking 2 shots.
Gets the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And so both free throws are good, and it's an 8-point game. Timeout called, the Heat. They're losing by 8. 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 16 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. That's a 2 from Smith. An offensive rebound. And Thompson kicks to Williams. Nails the tray.
For 3.
Foul him.
And it's Miller penetrating. No good. So it's Indiana picking up the win. It was a fantastic ball game, and they did a great job making sure it didn't get away from them late.
Yeah, and they got pushed down the stretch, but they did what they...
Paul, how does a win like this impact the team's attitude going?
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaq and Kenny.
When you're a leader on the NBA team, you're expected to carry your team. You take the pressure off. You manage it. You infuse that energy to help your team. And there were a lot of moments during the game when we saw him do just that. Great
triple
performance.
double.
I commend you, young man.
The assists were coming fast and furious for him, man. Always sharp, crisp passes that led to easy baskets. You gotta love to see him play like that.
And that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew.
Alright, y'all, I'll be on tonight. I'm playing that new Resident Evil. That's gonna be freaky.